Because some people are that when they're talking,
Well, yeah.
All right. Into the 2.5 minute mark.
Good.
Don't forget to hit the remote. Start. Perfect. Good morning. Welcome back to the Warriors Way. I'm here with my buddy Phil. Say hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil. So he is from the Shriners. His name's Phil Brack, and we're going to touch with him in just a second. I want to welcome you back to our podcast in association with UCAN, United Community Addiction Network, where we go to help those people that are struggling to help themselves. I am Isaac, and I'm your host of the Warriors Way, and our warrior this week, again, is Phil Brack. And how are you doing, sir?
Wonderful.
All right. Wonderful is good. I always like to say living the dream, because dreams...
I've been doing that all my life.
Well, yeah, because somebody's dream and someone's nightmare could be the same thing, right? So we had you on because you guys do a bunch of community work, and when I was asking around, I was amazed at how many people did not know how active you guys were. So, Phil, you are you got your hat there that says past potentate. Can you tell people what that is?
Well, the potentate is the leader of the individual temples.
Okay.
And past being the key word, I am no longer potentate. Thank you very much. It was a fun ride, but I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, it's like boot camp. You're glad you went through it, but you don't want to do it again.
Right.
That's great. So, are you from this area?
I am. Well, I was born over in Montcalm County, but for the most part lived all my life in the Flint area.
What county was that again?
Montcalm.
Where is that?
Over on the west side of the state.
Really? I didn't know that one.
About halfway between Big Rapids and Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay. Is it like a smaller town?
Well, that's the county. I was born in a little town called Lakeview.
Okay. And so when did you move to Flint?
Early 60s.
Okay.
Dad was looking for work that would
Right.
support a few kids, and found General Motors. And he actually found a gas station first, worked there,
Yeah.
and then General Motors let him come on in, and
Okay.
he retired out of there.
So how old were you when you moved to Flint? Do you know?
Oh Lord, it was 1961, I believe. So I was about 4.
Okay, so 4, and that makes you how old now?
I'll be 65 soon.
Okay, now did you move into Flint or surrounding area?
Into Flint.
Oh, okay. So did you went to one of the Flint schools?
Yeah.
Which one?
Merrill.
Merrill. Okay.
Merrill Elementary was my first school, then Emerson Junior High. Mind you, none of these exist anymore.
Yeah, I didn't want to
And
say.
then I went to Flint Northern.
Northern. Okay.
And then we moved out in my senior year, so I graduated from Flushing.
Okay.
And
All right, that's cool. And so,
Done
what year
bigger,
did you
better
graduate?
things.
What year was that?
I graduated in 1975.
1975. So right before the bicentennial year.
Yep.
All right. Well, I was born in 1976, so
Okay.
that puts the dates between us.
Well, you're the same age as my son.
There we go. So,
Close to it.
so you graduated in 1975. So, did you stay in the area? Did you go to college?
Yep. I got. I worked at a grocery store in Flushing, Beaky's ShopRite. Give you a little plug there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know my name anymore. But at any rate, I hired into General Motors at Buick
Okay.
back in 1977.
Flint, downtown there?
Yep.
Buick City?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Hired
Okay.
into the old foundry.
Wow. That's dirty work right there, bud.
Was.
Yeah.
But that was short-lived. Then they transferred me up to the engine plant, which was greasy work.
Yeah.
But it was good. And then down to the car assembly plant, which was a lot cleaner, but
Yeah.
a little more hectic.
So, how long did you work at GM?
40 years.
40 years. Now, did you
Yep,
stay on the
I
floor,
went
or
on-
did
I
you
went
go?
on skilled trades in 1985.
Yeah.
Became an electrician eventually, and then transferred in 1996 over to the V8 plant,
Okay.
and then to Flint Engine South, it was called at the time. Now it's Flint Engine Operations, something like that.
Yeah. So, my dad was a truck and bus guy forever.
Okay, that's where my father worked.
Yeah. Went to Pontiac for like 7 years and ended up back in there. 37 years. Ran a high-low his whole life. He was comfortable with that. Did a skilled trade.
I did that for a while. It was a good job.
Yeah, I told him. I said, "God bless you for that." I couldn't do that. That'd drive me crazy, man.
Well,
My
you
mind
got,
goes.
You got a family and kids to support.
Yeah, you do what you gotta do.
That's right.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so I wanted to get the Shriners on here because a lot of people know about the circuses and the clowns and the little cars and all that, but they really don't get what you guys do with the kids, you know?
We're the best kept secret in the world.
Right. So give me just a little outline of the stuff you do, especially with the kids and all that.
Well, the Shriners, you have local groups that support the international group.
All right, and when was it started? Like, what's the history of it? The Shriners.
The Shrine was started in New York City by a handful of Masons in 1872, I believe was the date.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
the 150th anniversary, so yeah, it'd be 1872 in New York City. And one of the guys was an actor, and so they took on an Arabic theme.
Okay.
And it's not promoting Islam or any way, shape, or form. It was just that was what they did.
It was just a scheme, a look.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
It had romantic connotations and mysterious connotations. So,
Well, I hear you guys are good looking, so
yeah,
that's important.
gorgeous. But no, they started that, and it was to be a fun thing. Shriners are Masons. Masons are the oldest fraternity in the world, but
Right.
it's a lodge, and you don't drink, smoke, talk religion or politics in the lodge. You know, it's a lot of pomp and circumstance, that kind of thing.
Right.
It's a good network among people, a brotherhood. However, it's kind of stuffy sometimes in just a lodge meeting. So these
Well, I know you guys have the dances. I seen the tuxes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you
we
know.
would have social things after lodge.
Okay.
But these guys started the Shrine as just a fun degree, and another way to socialize and
Yeah, so from
party
18
it up a little bit.
so from 1872, like where did it turn into like the kids and the hospitals and all that stuff?
In well, it's the 100th year for the hospital. So, 1922, they opened. They decided to support a cause,
Right.
and because that was their 50th year, so they wanted to do something other than just play around.
Right.
So they came up with the idea of helping children that were crippled up,
Okay.
and they set their standards to predominantly orthopedic diseases.
Okay.
And the first hospital was opened in Shreveport, Louisiana,
Okay.
way back. So, and then since then, we've grown to 22 hospitals in North America, counting Canada and Mexico.
And you guys spend a lot of time at the hospitals. You raise money for them.
We raise money for them, or we raise money for ourselves first
Yeah.
and foremost because we have to have operating capital
Absolutely.
to run our portion of the business.
Right.
However, we do try and raise money for the hospitals, and the ones that our temple support is the orthopedic hospital in Chicago
Okay.
and the burn unit in Dayton, Ohio.
All right. And why do you think it's like such a secret? It's weird, right?
I don't know. Since I joined, I always knew that there were Shriners, and they were always the guys that wore the funny hats,
Yep.
which is called a fez, and they run around in little cars and whatnot, or dress up like clowns.
Yeah.
And, it was the circus. That's what you knew. And you saw them in parades and what
Yeah.
have you. And it's just a bunch of grown men acting like kids and having a good time. and that's what that's our
That's your base.
big goal is for the guys to have fun.
Right.
And, but we want to support the hospitals also.
Okay.
After I became a Shriner, I was amazed at how many people didn't know about the Shrine.
Yeah.
And
So did you meet a guy in the shop? Like, is that how that worked, or?
well, actually, it was my father-in-law. I got married, and my father-in-law was a Mason and a Shriner,
Okay.
and so were a number of his friends. And Masons are not allowed to solicit membership.
Okay.
However, you have to ask to join.
Right.
However, there are ways that guys talk about it and pique your
There's
curiosity.
rules, and then there's ways around the rules.
Of course.
River always has multiple paths.
But I mean, when your father-in-law is talking to the son-in-law about this, and
Sure.
I'm going to obviously pay attention and listen to him.
Right.
And
That's cool. Now, how old were you when that happened?
I was in my mid-30s.
All right. So you had been working at GM for basically that'd be about 15 years at that point.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay. So.
But I would ask my father-in-law, well, what do they do? What do they do?
Right.
He really couldn't come up with a clear, concise answer.
Right.
And I got laid off from General Motors.
Uh-huh.
And at the time, they had this thing called the Jobs Bank.
Yep, I remember.
And they would let people go out and do community service work for nonprofit organizations.
Right.
And I had people tell me, well, try and hook up with the Shriners out at Circus Park. They always got lots of stuff to do, but they don't, you're not digging ditches or anything. So
Right.
I contacted the guy that was running the thing at the time, and he set me up to come up there every day.
Yeah.
And he knew my father-in-law.
So they started.
He started
Hooking
answering
you
my
in.
questions.
Okay.
He wasn't soliciting me or anything, but he could answer the questions I had.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And then we would set up the hall for rentals or shrine functions in there. And I saw what these guys did, and I saw the literature on the hospitals and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I thought, I want to be part of that.
Yeah, I find that being a person that's gone in a car accident, come out with a brain injury, and I've been disabled, it's purpose is the most important thing in the whole world, and that's one of the things that you guys provide in a community is purpose. And I find if you're struggling with depression or hanging out, and your life is in this stale spot, helping somebody, especially helping kids, going and handing out food or doing a soup kitchen, man. I find that really makes me go, life is not so bad, And then you guys got the dances.
Well, you
and
figure
things.
somebody's always got it worse than you.
Yeah, but going and help that person that's got it worse, and there's just something about that just stresses, that relaxes. So
Makes you feel good.
all right, so Phil,
But to continue with my story,
Yeah.
As to why the Shriners are the best kept secret, I've actually witnessed kids on the street that were obviously crippled up, and I approached their parents about it, mother, father, whoever was there, and they said, we've heard about Shriners, but we didn't know any. And so
So the people that needed it had no idea you existed. That's crazy.
Yeah, they knew about Shriners, but they didn't know how to get in touch with anybody or anything. And honestly, a lot of people are bashful in that regard. And,
Sure.
And probably figure, well, it's nobody's business that my kid's messed up.
Right.
But I tell you, after you go to the hospitals, these kids aren't messed up.
Right.
These kids are just like any other kid there, except for they have a disability, but they were born with it. They don't even realize it.
Right.
And everything we do for them just makes life that much better for them.
And that's what makes it the best kept secret for you, huh?
Yeah. I mean, we advertise on television now all the time,
Yeah.
but
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break here in just a second, and we're going to have a link. So if you guys go to spiritualwarfareunit.com, once we get done with this, we'll have a link. So if you guys are interested in signing up, you click the link on our website. It'll take you right to them, and I'm sure they can get a hold of somebody through your website to get a hold if they're interested in what you're doing. If you haven't checked out our life application class at Spiritual Warfare Unit, please check us out there. We're going to take a small break, and we'll be right back.
I'm really impressed with the teachings that Isaac has been bringing to us, as this is all based from Proverbs.
I like it because it's simple, and it doesn't matter who you are. It's very easy to understand and apply to your life.
It points out, my bad parts, and, but it's showing me how to do the good parts. And, I'm trying to apply that and, make a better life for myself because I'm tired of where I've been.
It's impacted a lot of the guys as they continue to talk and ask questions after the meetings, as they speak to one another regarding the meeting and the messages and the topics that are being brought up, which are down-to-earth topics of situations and things that we live with on a day-to-day basis.
He takes the Bible and he breaks it down into simple terms and where you can understand. And like I said before, sometimes a lot of churches, even the Salvation Army, sometimes we start using these big words that people don't understand, like even saying someone got saved. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean when you say someone got saved? And it's accepting Jesus into your heart. So it's like words like that we use that people don't understand.
It's just very interesting how he points out, the different things of, the sin part, and then he comes back with the, how to make it better, and he just points it out. It's there. I didn't know all this stuff was in there, but now that he's pointing it out, it's like, wow, I guess if you really dig into the Bible, you find these things.
This is a daily moral standards that we can live by, that the teachings are coming from. And honestly, we can take verse by verse as what he's done, and pretty much he's done the hard work for us, and now laying it out so that we have an easier understanding.
There's some people who don't like to be in Bible classes,
That's why it's
this
the Warriors
one
way.
Seems to get their attention.
So taking a quick break back with our guest, our warrior today, Phil Brack, and he's from the Shriners. And I believe you're out in the Clio area, correct? That's
our offices are in Clio, yeah.
All right, so here's what we got so far. Left Little County, no one's ever heard of from Michigan, down to Flint, which everybody's heard of, worked at GM. Father worked at GM, graduated at 17, so you're a Flintstone through and through. And about your mid-30s, you got into the Shriners, and you said you had a really great story on how that worked, right?
Well, like I say, I was in the jobs bank, so I went out to Circus Park,
Right.
to do community
Now, hold on,
service.
before we get in there. Job bank, if I remember right, where the guys would sit and play cards if they didn't do nothing all day long.
Yeah, it was 40
All right.
hours pay.
Yeah.
It was a penalty for General Motors laying us off.
Right, okay. All right, I just want to make sure you're thinking about the same thing. So, mid-30s, all right, hit us. So, you're in there.
So anyhow, went out to Circus Park to work and met the caretaker out there at the time, and he was a great fellow. Reminded me of my grandfather a lot. He was all rough and gruff, an old World War II guy, and spoke his mind all the time. So we got along fantastic, and and that's where I got to see a lot of the stuff that the Shriners did, and they had fun. And I was all about having fun. So
Right.
I says, well, okay. And he knew my dilemma with my father-in-law not being able to answer questions for this or that. So
Yeah.
he knew the proper way to answer the questions and
Okay.
keep me interested. So I took the petition for the Masonic Lodge and filled it out, turned it in. So that made father-in-law grin from ear to ear. And we went through the steps to do that. And then we got into the shrine,
Yeah.
and that was fun. It was it's different now than it was then, because not that I had to go through any hazing, but they did do that quite a bit back in the day.
No.
Now it's outlawed, but
It's outlawed.
oh yeah.
Oh, man, that sounds bad.
Well, it's no different than college hazing or anything like that. It's,
We'll just sum that up with a statement. What we have here is a failure to communicate. And let's move on from that. That's funny, though.
so anyhow,
Yeah.
can't do that anymore. So now we try and do an informative. We go through an installation process, and then
Yeah.
we try and teach them about how the shrine came about and whatnot, and what we do,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, so it's just this easy transition, right? So basically, if I'm hearing what you're saying, is it was started with guys that want to have fun, transitioned into guys that want to have fun but wanted to help some people, and now it's transitioned into helping people and helping the community while you're still having fun.
yeah. Well, the shrine basically works for the hospitals.
Okay,
Now the Masonic lodges, which all Shriners have to be Masons.
right.
Okay, the Masonic lodges are all about helping the community and whatnot. So, like our lodge, we're out of Flushing.
Yeah.
But we raise money and donate it to a handful of charitable organizations every
Now,
year.
is that like for your local community?
Correct?
Okay, and then you said you did something with the international.
Well, the Imperial Shrine is.
All right, hold on. What's that, Imperial?
It's the
Sounds
parent,
important.
The parent organization.
Oh, so we're like the children.
The national level of it. Like I was a potentate last year of our temple.
Yeah.
Well, we have an imperial potentate.
Oh, okay.
and
So it's
he's
like a
over-
president or something.
He's over top of Shriners International
Gotcha.
worldwide. And we have
All right.
shrine groups all around the world now. Just started a bunch in Brazil and some over in the Philippines and,
Wow.
and in Europe.
Okay.
So they're everywhere.
That's cool. So you donate to certain groups that you feel is doing good in the community, and that's what you raise your money for?
No, the shrine just raises money for the hospitals.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the Masonic Lodge will do stuff for the community.
Oh, and those are two separate entities and one. Okay.
Correct. But
All
you
right.
have to belong to
See,
one
it's
and belong-
confusing. Like I'm trying to get this.
You have to
figured
be
out.
a Mason to be a Shriner, but not all Masons are Shriners.
So you have to be a Mason to be a Shriner, but you don't have to be a Shriner. You can just be a Mason.
Correct.
All right, and then they have two different.
And there's
spokes.
stuff in between there too that's optional.
All right, wait a minute, Phil. You're freaking me out, man.
It gets deep.
Yeah, two's good. You're stressing me out right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I think I'm too chubby for that much information.
Right.
But okay, so you have like large levels that you're dealing with, and the reason why I thought this was weird that no one knew you is because you're so big, right? Like you guys are literally in a whole. Like there has never been a Thanksgiving parade that I have never seen them little cars
Right.
and them
We
and.
love to do parades.
And them guys, and somebody falls over, and it's hilarious. Every year, that's my favorite part of the parade. And I don't know if that's supposed to be funny or not, or if you do it on purpose, but I'm telling you, it is hilarious.
Yeah, they do it on purpose.
They do it on purpose. They are
Sometimes
excellent.
they have accidents, but they do it on purpose. Motorcycles aren't supposed to tip over. Okay. But other than that,
Listen, if they're doing that on purpose, it looks so great. I'm telling you, I just sit there and I wait every year for my wife. She makes me watch it, and I just wait for that. That and the guys with the briefcases, right? Those are the dudes that I love the best.
Yeah, we love doing parades. So
All right. So how long was it from the time that you got from in there? You said you were 33 till you became potentate, which is like the head. How long was that?
27 years.
Holy.
But I swore up and down that I was never going to be potentate.
All right. Now, hold on there. Sounds like there's a story there.
Well, I shot off my mouth to a past potentate one day and asking him if he'd get guys on his team that would do their diligence. And he said, he looked at me and he said, well, it sounds like you're volunteering.
Oh,
And I'm
no.
thinking, oh, Lord. So
Got to put your money where the mouth is.
I put him
huh?
off for a month, and finally I succumbed to it and said, yeah, I'll do it. Well, they got me on there, and we have what we call our divan. And
Yeah.
That's the line of officers,
Okay.
the ruling body. And we have 7 elected officers,
Okay.
5 of which are called the moving line. And the rest are appointed,
Okay.
and they just do what they're told.
Okay.
Okay, they're just lackeys for the potentate.
Yeah, they're the hands and feet of the decision makers. Gotcha.
Excuse me. And then I was going to stay in that appointed spot.
Okay.
It was a lot less responsibility and whatnot,
Right.
but I still had my finger on the pulse of what was going on.
Sure.
Well, then actually it was my cousin was potentate,
Yeah.
and he offered me the opportunity to run for election. And I told him no, I was going to let this other guy do it. And
Sorry, I'm waiting for you're smiling at me, and I'm waiting for this.
so, that guy won his spot. And I
Yeah.
was happy with where I was.
Yeah.
And then a year later, he says, I got to drop out.
Now, who's he? Your cousin?
No.
Oh, the other guy.
One of the other fellows.
Okay.
there. And so the powers that be at that time come up to me and really want you to run.
Oh no.
And then my cousin, the past potentate, and a few other handful of guys,
Yeah.
they started urging me on. So I ran, and I won my spot. And
Okay.
it just kept getting reelected till they got rid of me.
Really? So you so you got a position that you probably didn't want because you're like, hey, we got to get what we got to get done, and
Well,
then.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's an expensive proposition.
So that sounds like set up, suckered in, pushed around a little bit.
Pretty much. I mean, we love what we do so much that we do it for free.
Right, and then
we
you
are
start
not
paying.
paid for anything other than we might get reimbursed for a little bit of travel expense
Yeah.
for certain classes that we would have to take,
Okay.
or the annual meeting that we would have to attend if we're a representative.
Okay. Now, I was not aware that you guys did, and this is going to sound kind of dumb from my behalf, so I'm saying that ahead of time for this, but you guys do like fish fries and stuff, right?
Some temples do. Our particular temple doesn't. A lot of the lodges in
Okay.
the community do fish fries.
All right, because I was trying to, like, the lines get skewed, and
They do.
and I clearly don't have those, and there's only 2 of them.
And the problem with that
Can't
is
untwine
we are
'em.
spread so thin. Membership, and our organization's no different than any of the Moose or the Eagles or any other.
Yeah, sure.
VFW,
Rise and falls.
American Legion, they are all dropping. Their membership is dropping.
Yeah.
Terrible. The youth of today is not big on joining things, where the baby boomers were, and
Okay.
we're at the tail end of the baby boomers now. All those people are starting to retire, and a lot of them are dying off, and
Yeah.
so that's what happens.
So that's where we're sitting right now, and so you guys came up with some ingenious ideas. Now I was talking to his buddy Jim, who is hilarious, by the way, and shout out to my boy Jim, and also known as what do they call each other, Fat and Fatter, Timmy and him. Fat, hello, fat, hi, fatter.
Fatty and fatter.
And I've never said, I was like, I can't believe you called them that. And they both looked at each other and said, why? And if you knew them,
Yeah.
they are perfect Stay Puft.
Or Jim's other nickname is Pumpkin Butt.
Pumpkin Butt. Now, there is a piece of information I didn't know, and I'm going to hold on to. Phil, thank you for that gem.
Well, he's the one that's got me to come on here, so I guess I can pay him back.
I bet he can't wait to see me. Old Pumpkin Butt. I'm totally stealing that. So you get in there, and you guys do like a lot of raffles. I know you did a Christmas raffle, and I know you did something about, he was telling me about, it was ice fishing in the buckets or something.
Oh, that turned out to be a really good time.
What was that?
Okay, well, we had a chili cook-off scheduled,
Okay.
and chili cook-off is okay, but that's just eating chili and drinking beer.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to even provide the beer this year. So
Was there a lot of toiletries? A lot of just asking for personal.
a lot of what?
Being able to, a lot of restrooms.
Oh, yeah.
If I was there, I would have to go to the restroom.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
We're pretty good in that regard.
Okay.
But just a chili cook-off by itself is kind of boring,
Okay.
unless you have something else to do.
I got you.
So, illustrious Sir Jeff Downing, their current potentate, came up with this idea to do the ice fishing contest.
Right. Now, it's not real ice fishing. It consists of some
it's all
buckets. and
symbolic. You'll find
Okay.
that the Masons and the Shriners are very big on symbolism.
Okay.
Okay, and what it was you came in the door, you dropped down $25 for a fishing license.
Yeah.
Which looked just like a 3x5 card with your name and a number on it.
Okay.
And they even provided a lanyard to wear it around your neck.
Okay.
And then you were also issued 25 lures
Okay.
that looked a whole lot like a ticket, a coupon.
A coupon.
And you wrote your number on the back of all 25 tickets.
Okay.
And then they had tables set up with buckets, which they were just little 2-pound deli containers.
So those were the fishing holes.
Well, they were just a place to put your lure, yeah.
Okay.
And then they had a bucket behind that.
Oh.
That was a 5-gallon bucket.
Okay.
Okay, and
Yeah.
so and they had some random schedule as to which one to draw from, but they would draw from hole number 2 to begin with,
Okay.
and pull a ticket out of that little thing, and if
Yeah.
it was your ticket, then you got to come up there and reach in that fishing hole, which was the bucket,
Yeah.
and there was a bunch of playing cards in it.
Okay.
And you drew a card out, and the card would either be a door prize, which we had some prizes donated,
All right.
or it'd have a big X through it, which meant the fish got off,
Oh.
or whatever denomination the card was, that was the weight of your fish.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we gave a prize out for the first fish caught,
Right.
and then we gave a prize out to the most fish caught, and then we gave a prize out to the most weight.
All right. So how long was this whole event?
Oh, it took couple hours, just a couple hours.
Really? So it's a cheap way to have some good
Oh, we had a
entertainment.
great time.
No kidding.
Yeah, it turned out real good. And, everybody played it up pretty good when they caught a fish. You know how you are when
Yeah.
you catch a fish.
Yeah, mine's bigger than yours. Yeah. All right, that is a perfect time for us to take a break. Again, if you haven't checked out our spiritual warfare unit, welcome to the Warrior's Way. Hit us up on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Check out our life application class. We will be right back. Taking a quick break from our podcast, I wanted to let you know about our life application program that we have for churches and nonprofits in the area that are trying to find programming that they can use in case the corona shuts you down and you're not able to get in. You go to spiritualwarfareunit.com. You click on our episodes and you can check out our programs for as little as $29.99 a month to make sure that we're still getting the word out to those people that need it. Now, back to the program. All right, welcome back to the Warriors Way. Our warrior this week is Phil Brack, and he's with the Shriners. And we are on our third session, our gem session, and that is where we get some funny stories, some good gems from our warriors who've gone through the battles. And so, Phil, I had asked you this week if you had any funny stories on us, and the difficulty was making them worthy of the presentation. So, what do you got, buddy? I've heard you got some good ones.
Well, we a lot of them involve drinking beer and whatnot because we have fun, and that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
But we've done a lot of things. We used to have some motorcycle rallies out there.
Okay, what does that mean, a motorcycle rally?
Well, they'd be a ride.
Okay.
And they would meet back there. And then we'd do a pig roast and have bands and stuff. So that was always fun. But I took the head off the pig one time.
Okay, hold on. You had a pig roast, so
Yeah,
like the
pig
big
roast,
barrel,
the whole pig, yes.
and you took the head
Took
off.
the head off of the pig.
Oh boy.
And,
Okay.
Well, they were auctioning things off. Okay, so we took the head up there and auctioned it off.
You just decided.
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who cut the head off? Like, how did that work?
Well, the guy that was preparing the pig, he
Just lopped it off.
yeah.
And you decided we should auction a pig head.
Well, like I said, there was a little beer drinking involved in it, but
A little bit. Okay.
and it was a nice hot summer day, and
All right.
just getting into the spirit of things. It was a lot. Everybody was laughing and having a great time. So we took it up there, and this lovely young lady bid $25 on it. She paid it, and then she donated it back.
I'd have donated it back to. Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, it was kind of greasy, so you didn't want to.
No. One more thing. I got a pig head.
Well, the cheeks in there were really good eating.
Yeah. That's very Hannibal Lecter of you with a nice Chianti.
Yeah. It was fun though. We had a corn maze out there one year. We have 105 acres out there in Clio.
Yeah, my daughter got married. You do marriages and stuff there, right?
Yeah,
My son-in-law
we
and
do a lot
daughter.
of
It was
weddings in
great,
there.
man.
And we have a pavilion out there. People get married out there by that. And there's a little creek that flows through the place, but we farm 40 acres of it.
Uh-huh.
And oh my goodness, it's been over 10 years now, I think. We had a corn maze out there.
Okay.
And that took up about 10 or 12 acres. We had a haunted trail and two mazes.
Yeah.
And we would run that from about Labor Day till Halloween.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. We'd get guys come out and volunteer, and we'd always have a campfire every night and
Uh-huh.
sit around there and whatnot. But we had Saturdays and Sundays, we'd open early at noon.
Okay.
We had a family come out one year and on a Saturday afternoon,
Uh-huh.
and they got lost. Okay,
Well,
now,
it is a maze.
We
so-
give them maps, and there's marker signs scattered throughout there that you're supposed to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, if you're not good at reading a map, you can get turned around and start going in circles.
You missed where it said turn here.
Yeah, exactly. So anyhow, it was mom and her husband and a couple of kids, and they're out there, and they'd been out there for over an hour, I guess, and they started getting panicky and whatnot. So they called 911.
Oh, no.
Here comes Genesee County Sheriff. They patrol the area.
Yeah.
So they came out there and they told our guys what was going on. So one of our guys, he ran right out there and found them. But it was funny. But then we got a good laugh out of that. And a little bit of publicity. But I felt bad. The lady was embarrassed. And then, what's that show? Inside Edition called us and wanted to know if they could get in touch with this woman.
Why?
They wanted to interview her.
Because she couldn't find her way out of a corn maze?
Right. They wanted to know all the particulars. I told them that they would have to contact the sheriff because I didn't have any information on her. And
Inside Edition.
the sheriff got a hold of her, and asked her if she was willing to do this. She says, "If you release my name, I'll sue you." So,
Well, you can't imagine. That had to be embarrassing, right?
I'm sure. I was thinking that would have been the greatest publicity in the world, though, to have that go by.
Not only is our maze is that good, you got to call 911 to get out.
Absolutely.
You know something? I got something kind of funny. You know how during Halloween they always do the scare houses, right?
Yep.
So I was with a couple of people that will remain nameless, and inevitably they always got you go down these real tight corners, right? Well, here's the thing: if the person in front is gassy, okay, then you get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, the funny part wasn't that it was gross, because it was. And then from his perspective, it's like being the driver in the car and you can lock the windows, right? So this particular gentleman is really enjoying the position that he had. And I can't quote for sure, but he might have gone to your chili cookout prior based off of the bouquet that we were scenting.
Could be. Yeah.
But the best part is when you got a killer clown and you hear the clown coming out, who's supposed to scare you, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, that's disgusting."
Well, try it when you got to bunk up with these guys. You know, our hospital drivers, when they transport kids to the hospitals, a lot of times we'll put them up in a hotel overnight.
Yeah.
So the family stays in one room, and then we always have at least two drivers.
Yeah.
And they stay in another. And some of these guys, you wouldn't want to live with them all the time.
Oh my goodness. No, my favorite one of those gassy stories, I owned a 192-pound St. Bernard.
Oh, Lord.
And I loved him. And I got him from my daughter. And at first I didn't like him. And he slobbered and he stunk. And it was like living with a bear. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so my brother had come up to stay with me for a week. And the dog used to sleep on his back. So his legs are just hanging out and his jowls just kick out. And he snored like a trucker. Mm-hmm. And so we're sitting there, and he passed gas, and it was really loud.
Oh, yeah.
So my brother's sitting there like this, and he's like, "Dear Lord." And I just looked at him. I said, "Wait for it." He's like, "Wait for what?" Yeah. And as soon as he did that, the dog's tail started wagging.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "That's my boy."
Well,
yeah, I just, you know.
Well, I got a dachshund that'll do the same thing. So.
You know, and that's what I love about animals is they got their own personalities. But it's like, if you would have told me that would have happened, I'd have given you $100 for being crazy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that was literally how that situation went down. And so when I find someone and we're talking about this, like right now, my eyes are watering thinking about it because I'm seeing my brother's face and the disgust and the disdain on his face, and it was priceless, you know. It's just watch him because he's a younger brother too, so it's like, well, you know, you'll get over it, you know. And so that older brother, younger brother thing was still there.
Oh, yeah.
But I appreciate those good stories, and I want to take a minute to talk about our life application class. We've created a biblical life application class for people who struggle with drug addiction and alcohol addiction, and are trying to figure out how to make different choices in their lives. And one of the reasons why I wanted to have the Shriners on here is because you help people make good decisions to help their lives. And we have made a program that works with drug rehabilitation groups in the area like Salvation Army and others that will take a position of making different choices based off a biblical platform. And it's not based off of, you know, we're going to pray together and everything's going to be wonderful and there's unicorns. It's a step-by-step process of how bad decisions turn into bad results and how making good decisions turns into good results. And the reason why that's a correlation is because when I look at what you guys do, you're asking people to step outside themselves just a little bit, and they get camaraderie, they get brothership, they get community outreach, and they get purpose. And that's something that you guys provide with what you do. And the fact that when I've talked to people and you're like an enigma, you know, like they're there, but I don't know what they do.
Right.
And then when you tell people, well, they help kids that are crippled, they don't even know that even exists, you know, and that blows my mind. And so you guys doing all these little things to help out in your area. And is there like a website that people can go to check out like what you're doing if they were interested?
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, the Grand Lodge of Michigan is got a website, And right off the top of my head, I'm not thinking of it, but you can Google it and it'll get
All
you
right, so
there.
if you Google like
Grand Lodge-
Shriners,
Well, Google Grand Lodge of Michigan. That'll give you information on the Masonic aspect of it, which is
Okay.
a prerequisite to be a Shriner.
right.
And then for the Shrine, ekshrine.com is our local one.
Okay.
BeAShrinerNow.com is
That sounds like the easy one there.
that's
Be
the
a
easy
Shriner.
one. That
There we
is
go.
set up by the Imperial Shrine.
Okay.
And it gives you a general, broad idea of how we do things, what we do. And
All right, so if people want to get involved in helping the kids, they would go on to howtobeashriner.com, and then that would get them to what their locations and what they need to do, right?
Correct.
All right, cool. Well, we're going to take this break right now. You go check out our life application class on spiritualwarfareunit.com. Check our YouTube page, like, share, and subscribe at Spiritual Warfare Unit, and we will be right back.
I was an addict for 6 years. I was deeply into heroin and addiction. 2014, a lot of events happened for me. I had lost my sister. My dad was just diagnosed with cancer. I was just kind of in this headspace of being in a mess as it was, and then I was introduced to heroin. I kept it pretty well hidden there in the beginning. A lot of people didn't know that I was using just because I went about my everyday life the same way anybody else would. But what they didn't know behind the scenes is I was using 10 times a day. I'm living out of what I consider a trap house at this point. There's no windows, there's no doors, there's no place to stay warm. I had no other way of making money. I was doing things that weren't okay to me. I started prostituting. I was stealing from my loved ones. I was taking my dad's cancer prescriptions, and I would take them and I would sell them. I couldn't even contact my daughter in December of that year to tell her Merry Christmas or send her gifts. And it just got to a point where I knew, like, I'm either going to get clean or I might as well start planning my own funeral. So for me, it wasn't even just that I needed to stop. My life over the course of 6 years fell apart.
So I met Sarah in 2019. We had a program I was working with law enforcement officers, and I got the call that they had somebody, so there I went to meet Sarah.
Here's just this happy-go-lucky guy just, oh my God, here's treatment. Here's what you can do. You can change your life around. I'm just kind of sitting there like, oh, okay, what did I get myself into? Like, maybe sitting in a cell by myself might have been a better idea, because at least I don't have to listen to all this.
Whenever I see somebody who's willing to go to treatment to try and help with their issue, it's something that I don't make that judgment. I always just try and provide the hope, the encouragement, and the motivation to go to treatment, and then hope that it works for them, hope they engage, hope that it's the point of life that they're in, that they're ready to make that change.
It was a huge wake-up call for me. When I'm watching all these people that I used to hang out with, including my husband, get clean before I did. And just watching their lives change so drastically and them becoming so much happier. And I just sat there in this endless abyss of a mess that I caused myself, but I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't know how to stay clean. I didn't know how to live my life without substances because I had done it for so long.
With UCAN and our relationships we can actually get people into multiple treatment facilities. So depending on age, gender, the drug of choice, things of that nature, there's certain facilities that maybe have a little bit more of a success rate with certain populations. So we kind of talk through that and then try and place them where we feel is an optimal place to succeed.
My husband and I finally got a place together, and life has pretty much been good ever since, but like the key role of it for me was staying in contact with people.
We can't go in and drive in and grab somebody, just pull them out like they're drowning. It's a decision they have to make, and it's a commitment they have to make, and then they have to be diligent, determined, dedicated to find sobriety.
So my husband has 2 years clean, and I have 22 months clean. I will have 2 years clean on December 21st of this year. Just last month in October, we went back to court. Everything's officially terminated. She's back home with us for good.
Yeah, so UCAN is that conduit. A lot of times people don't know when to or how to or where to go to start looking for services. So we try and promote UCAN as being the starting point for people to begin the road to navigating recovery.
It is more than possible to change your life around.
So this program that we have allows law enforcement that if they have somebody that they feel could use the opportunity to try and get treatment instead of incarceration, that they would reach out and we could handle it for them.
Recovery is possible, and there is hope.
Welcome back to the Warriors Way. I'm here with Phil Brack from the Shriners, and we are finishing up. So, Phil, we were just talking about some community events that you may have, and the one that I know most of my friends are interested in is a gun raffle, right?
It's our sportsman's raffle.
Okay, and you have like over 100 guns you're raffling, right?
We the main raffle will have 100 firearms that will be raffled off.
All right.
And then tickets for that are $20 a piece.
And the thing I thought was the coolest about that is every ticket goes into every gun raffle, right?
Correct. The first ticket drawn is recorded and put right back into the hopper.
So you could literally win. Of course, there'd be some cheating if somebody won all 100 guns.
There are past winners that have been multiple winners.
Oh, okay.
So we have had that happen a couple times. The same person won more than once.
All right, and that's legal or whatever.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
It's not an outlaw.
Right.
kind of-
Well, that helps with ticket sales.
All right. So give me some of the guns that you got, man. What do you got?
Oh goodness. Well, the first one out of the chute is a Benelli Nova 20 gauge shotgun. We got a Browning A-Bolt 300 Winchester Magnum, some Glocks, Henry 22 rifles.
Nice.
Ruger American rifles, handful of handguns there, Smith & Wesson Victory 22, Smith & Wesson Shields.
All right, hold on. Where's my pen? I need the phone number for this. What is this? This is for $20. Give me a pen. All right, Dave to the rescue. Nice. What's that phone number? There's got to be a number to call, right?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Area code 810
Yeah.
686
Okay.
2641.
And do you have like a website people can go? Can they purchase tickets online?
They
or-
can, and they're encourage to do so.
Oh, okay. What's that?
If you don't know a Shriner right offhand, most Shriners will have tickets. But if you don't know a Shriner and you want tickets, go to eksportsmans.com.
Okay, I'm writing this down because I want to get in this. All right. eksportsman.com. The number was 81.
eksportsman.com, correct.
And the number was 810-686-2641.
Correct.
All right, and so that's where they can go. And this is going to be held when?
April 23rd
Okay.
at Circus Park, which is 4240 West Wilson Road in Clio.
All right, and the money for this goes to?
Our local temple. This is to raise money for us to help the hospitals.
All right, so this is specifically for helping the kids working with the
These
crippled.
tickets are not tax deductible,
Gotcha.
okay? But in order for us to do work to raise money for the hospitals,
Right.
we have to be able to run our offices and
Sure.
and
Admin
light
cost is a
bill.
cost, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so well, listen.
None of this goes into any particular person's pocket.
I got you. So what you're saying is for $20, I got a shot at 100 weapons.
Right. And if you buy a book of 3 tickets,
Okay.
there's a 4th ticket in there that's a seller's drawing, which
What's
is
that mean?
another 25 prizes. It's a separate raffle.
Okay.
It's 25 prizes, half cash, half guns.
Okay. And what does that mean? A seller's
It's
ticket.
an incentive for you to buy a whole book of tickets rather than one individual
So you mean
ticket.
there's like a raffle of the 100, and then there's
books-
another raffle.
The tickets come in books of 3,
Okay.
okay? And you can buy just one.
Yeah.
But if you buy 3, you get that 4th ticket.
Oh, and that gets you an extra 25
Chances.
weapons to shoot. No
Well,
kidding.
I
Well,
think
what's the
it's- I think
cost on
it's-
that then? $100
I think
bucks?
it's $60 for a book of tickets.
It's $60 for a book a ticket, and you get 2 shots, one for 100 weapons, one for 25.
Correct.
That's
And
a
the
pretty good
seller's
deal.
The seller's raffle is like, I think it's either 12 or 13 guns, and then the rest are cash prizes.
All right, so you get a shot basically at 113 weapons for what was it, $60?
Yeah.
And then all the money goes to admin costs and helping kids that are crippled and their families.
Right.
So that's a win-win, man.
And also included with that ticket are beverages and some food.
Comes along with it.
Yes.
Hold
And
on.
no,
Now, it's not all you can eat chili, is it? Because they're going to be.
No.
I'm just asking because of the amount of bathrooms. That stuff runs through me, man. I can't be the only one that has that
Well,
kind of issue.
we'll have Coca-Cola fountain products and we'll have Anheuser-Busch products.
Okay. All right. And some Gas X, I would hope.
No chili. No chili.
I'm sorry.
The food menu is yet to be determined, but trust me, it won't be chili.
No kidding. So so there's not a door cost to get in
If you
there?
buy a ticket at the door, it's $25.
Well, yeah.
Okay. But if you buy them in advance, they're $20 a ticket.
Man, that's pretty good. What's the date on that again, bud?
April 23rd,
April 23rd. And what time does that start?
12 o'clock. Doors open at 11. Drawing starts at 12. We draw a prize every 3 minutes, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Every 3 minutes.
Now, do you got to be present to win?
No, you do not.
Okay.
All the prizes are dealt through Bass Pro Shops out of Auburn Hills.
Yeah.
But if you are out of state or on vacation, can't make it in, you
Yeah.
win a prize, you'll get a letter in the mail telling you how to handle this.
Okay.
If for some reason, you live in Wisconsin or Florida or whatever,
Yeah.
and you win a prize, well, you can contact Bass Pro. They will send you a gift card for the same amount as the firearm.
Okay.
And then you can use that at any Bass Pro or Cabela's. And if you live near a Bass Pro out of state
Yeah.
and want the prize,
Yeah.
then they're FFL dealers, so they can ship that to the other stores and whatnot.
No
And,
kidding.
you can pick it up at another store.
Boy, so you donate money to help some kids, possibly get a weapon, and if you're out of state, you don't even got to come here to get it.
But the nice part about this is if you don't want a firearm,
Yeah.
or you can't own a firearm,
Yeah.
you can still buy a ticket because, like I say, it's all through Bass Pro.
Yeah.
If you don't want it, take the gift card.
Right.
And Bass Pro and Cabela's have something for everybody.
That's
there.
right. Get
Camping, clothing,
some fishing gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
All right, so I know you guys are doing stuff all the time, man. There's got to be a couple other things you got on stack here.
Well, we got a couple things coming up real quick. This Friday, the 11th at 6:30 p.m. at Circus Park, we're having what's called a pizza, puzzles, and beer contest.
Okay.
And it's for teams of 4. And I can't tell you right off the top of my head what the entry fee is,
Okay.
but it'll be nominal.
Be like under $20 or something.
Around that probably.
Okay.
Because you're going to get a pizza,
A full pizza.
a full pizza.
Okay.
I'm guessing a large or extra large.
All right.
And you're going to it's either a 350 or a 500 piece jigsaw puzzle
All right.
and a pitcher of beer.
Okay.
And the first team to finish all 3 of those wins.
So you have to finish all 3.
All 3, including the puzzle.
Wow.
Now, the beer and pizza, yeah, you can get a team to go through that pretty quick.
Pretty
but,
quick.
The puzzle's the hang up. And if our lovely First Lady happens to be walking by and think you're going too fast, she's going to have you move to another table, which means a different puzzle.
Oh, like you're cheating somehow.
Well,
How do you cheat with a puzzle?
Well, some people are really good at it.
Well, that's
Not
just
so
an
much.
advantage for them. That's
I
not
know,
their
that way-
fault.
That way, if you got a slow team, though,
Well, that
you
put
got to move them to the puzzle that's more complete.
Oh,
Well, we don't want
Man.
this thing to be over with in 20 minutes.
Like if you're having a donut contest, I would have a major advantage on a thinner person.
But the other thing is if your beer goes too fast, she may take that away from you and put another one there.
Oh no.
Ah,
And then you got to concentrate and stay focused.
correct.
Uh-oh. That could get pretty good. That would be
Well,
called a handicap at that point, I believe.
This is the first time we've tried this, so if it turns out like the ice fishing thing, it should be a lot of fun.
And you said that's this Friday at what time?
It's this Friday at 6:30 p.m.
Okay, it's Circus Park. That place is really cool too, man. Like I
Yep.
said, my one of my daughters got married there, and it was really beautiful. It was a good
And
time.
then on the 25th, which is 2 weeks after the pizza puzzles and beer,
Yeah.
from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 7 in the evening, the American Red Cross will be out there. We're going to do a
Blood donation?
blood drive. Yeah.
Blood drive?
Yep.
Okay.
So, and you can call the same number, 686-2641,
Okay.
to get information on that.
So that's a direct line.
Or just go to ekshrine.com
Gotcha.
and snoop around on there. You'll find all this information.
So if they go to that website, will it have like a calendar?
Yes.
That you have for these
It'll
events?
show all the events coming up.
Okay.
We have some events for other groups within our group. I know in April, the end of April, our hillbilly group,
Oh boy.
they're a bunch of Shriners that dress up like hillbillies, and they raise money for the hospitals.
Hold on. So do they wear that hat with like some overalls and?
No, they don't wear that hat.
Oh.
They wear an old felt hillbilly hat with corn cobs in it, and they
Okay.
have overalls, and on a good day you see some Daisy Dukes, and
I'm not gonna ask
But,
that question that just went into my head. I'm gonna let that one go.
that's called our spring fling,
Okay.
and that'll be a dinner and a band.
Okay.
I believe the John Vance band is playing there,
Okay.
so they're a pretty good bunch of guys. One of their members of that band is a member of our Shrine Temple.
Man, that's cool.
And then
so you got a Shriner that's a rock star.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
And a
that's
lawyer.
one of the boys.
He's a lawyer too.
And he's a lawyer. That's a trifecta right there.
There you go. So we have an Easter party on the 3rd of April for the kids. At noon.
Okay.
And that's open to the public. It's free for the kids.
Okay.
And they got oodles and oodles of Easter eggs out there.
Is that like Easter Sunday?
No, a couple weeks before.
Okay, but they can go check that out on
They can go
EK
check
Sports.
it out and just bring the kids up there. Last year we had oodles of kids. It was a great time.
Oodles just means lots, right?
Yeah,
All right.
a couple hundred showed up.
Wow.
A couple hundred kids,
Wow.
plus parents and whatnot. So it was great.
Man, that's cool.
But they have a big Easter bunny there, and they have an Easter egg hunt, and then some other things. Clowns are there, and I think we'll have face painting and whatnot.
All right. Well, Phil, I got to tell you, man, that sounds like a bunch. So if you want to go check that out, check out eksportsman.com or give a call 810-686-2641 to check out for our Shriners in the area. Phil, thank you so much for coming on. I love what you guys do, helping the kids. I love the fact that you try to have people in the community be able to get together and have a good time and just relax. In the world that we've been living in, downtime is a positive, and then you also allow for purpose. Again, thank you for coming out to the Spiritual Warfare Unit, and we will see you on the next time. Check out spiritualwarfareunit.com. Bye, guys.